So when you're talking
Ashutosh
about
Mishra ji, sir, how do you see this?
There's one big difference in the crying wolf that you are trying to spread and Rohingyas. They are victims of ethnic cleansing. They are refugees, and UNHCR also recognizes them. So, if you are giving them education for, and that education right is for ages 6 to 14, I don't think it's something which is as terrifying as you are trying to make it. India is unable to provide jobs to its own citizens. Forget foreigners getting the right to uh, uh, jobs. So that's just you crying wolf. And you have to realize that here, even today in India, we have refugee camps where many of these Rohingyas are put. And there have been enough reports which may or may not be true, that they are denied even healthcare, and the husbands and wife and children are put separately, which goes against human rights
Okay.
convention. You have to take it as a human right
Right, we should put them in
violation.
5-star hotels. Sam Pitroda put it aptly. Even if it means some suffering for us, it's okay. You know, we are large-hearted people. Dr. Ranganathan, I can't bear this anymore. Now, before I, go to Atikur Rahman ji and Khalikur Rahman, I want you to set the record right, sir.
I think out here, Pranesh, good evening, first of all, to you and to my fellow panelists. I think I'm afraid you are wrong. Because I think seriously, I think now the time has come for us to be honest about the way the Indian state conducts itself. I think the time has come for the government to take away citizenship from 1 billion Hindus. Just do it. I think that will be the right thing to do, honestly. As it is, we are being constitutionally, legally, socially, educationally discriminated against. So why keep up with this pretense that we are equal citizens of this country? We can't approach the courts to reclaim our temples. Our temples are in government control. We are refugees in our own land. Only our schools are forced to provide reservations. Only our festivals and way of life is being regulated and adjudicated upon. So why keep the pretense? गर्व से कहो हम हिंदूज के अगेंस्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन करते हैं, गर्व से कहो. And as far as Rohingyas are concerned, I have no objections to legal refugees being provided basic facilities for the time being. But now it has come to providing those facilities to even illegal Rohingyas. And this in a country where most Indian children are deprived of quality education and those very facilities, where there is a teacher shortfall of 19%, 1.1 million teacher shortfall, where 40% of rural schools do not have a functional toilet, where the pupil to teacher ratio is 60:1, where 150 million Indian children are out of school. Our judges want to spend our precious resources on illegal Rohingyas, but not on Indians. They talk of discrimination and the Right to Education Act. Well, talking of discrimination in the RTE, this is a state that has forced only Hindu-run schools to provide reservation to 25% economically weaker section children. Thousands of Hindu-run schools are being shut down because of this. But our judges are silent. And returning now finally to the Rohingya issue, Pranesh. Number of Rohingya refugees currently living in the USA, 5,000. Europe, 3,000. Jordan, 1,300. Indonesia, 1,200. Canada, 1,100. Japan, 560. Qatar, 20. India, 40,000. Qatar, an Islamic Republic, has taken 20 Rohingyas. Jordan, Indonesia, other Muslim nations, 1,000 each. And India, 40,000. But hey, Modi is anti-Muslim. India is a fascist Hindutva nation. How many Bangladeshi Hindus have we let in over the last 6 months ever since the Hindu genocide in Bangladesh began? 0. Remember how Indian Muslims united and indulged in Azad Maidan protests and riots to force the Indian government to take in Muslim Rohingya refugees from Myanmar? Well, it resulted in us ultimately taking in 40,000 Rohingya Muslim refugees. It is another matter that no one from the Indian Muslim community ever united to force the Indian government to settle 7 lakh Kashmiri Hindus who were driven out from their own homes. Anyhow, all Hindus remember Azad Maidan. But do we remember Khamong Sheikh? We don't. It is a place in Myanmar where Muslim Rohingyas murdered more than 100 Hindus and their families mercilessly, raped, pillaged, even buried some alive. Many among those Rohingya Muslims who committed this atrocity might be right now in India as refugees. But as I said, no Hindu ever came out to talk about Khamong Sheikh. All we do is get jealous of Indian Muslims uniting for Rohingya Muslims or Palestinian Muslims. Pradesh, If you are jealous of someone else's unity, it means you are divided. And I ask you, what kind of Rashtra is this? Where Kashmiri Hindus are forced to be refugees in their own land, where one can settle 40,000 Rohingya Muslims in India, 6,000 in Jammu and Kashmir, but not 7 lakh Kashmiri Hindus in Jammu and Kashmir, the land's original inhabitants? Enough. Every Indian refugee must be rehabilitated and every illegal Rohingya refugee must be deported.